Hello and welcome to TigerTails Gaming. This is the Friday stream of games that kick my ass with a slight difference, and I say slight difference as in it's not me playing, and it's not really a game that will kick his ass either.
No, it's not. I'm TK, and today we are playing, in case the thumbnail and title of the video hadn't given it away, we are playing Stories, the Path of Destinies.
Yeah, this is a game that some people may not necessarily
Recognise
in any way, shape or form. At all. I have this on, as TK Destroys the World, I have this on a couple of my platforms, I think, for like a wish list thing. Because it looked interesting, but I never got round to playing it. And I think then TK just stumbled upon this, bought it, and just spent the past few weeks grinding his face against it.
I'm just going to adjust the audio level because it's a little on the quiet side.
Playing with audio settings. That is fine.
There we go.
Ow. Yeah, so he kind of stumbled on this, and I did mention at the time I've got it on my wish list, but I never played it. I've seen him play it a few times. It's an action slasher game with a foxy fox.
And a choose your own adventure style of mission basement.
Well, yeah, pretty much, which is kind of the whole thing that helps you then go into the unlock thing. And this is where we lead into why we're doing this today. TK is looking to get his second or third platinum trophy.
Fifth, would you believe?
Fifth, okay. I didn't realise.
If we go into the things. I'm after these two trophies here so I can get the platinum.
I like how it goes second or third platinum, and at the top it goes 0. Yeah, no, that's for this game.
Yeah, that's for this game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Wake up.
It's been a long day. I am tired.
So I need to get the Sword Through Master, which is unlocking all the skills in the game, of which I'm 1 or 2 skills away from doing. And Bookworm, which is where I need to complete 3 of the endings. And as you can see them just on the right-hand side of the screen there are 3 little slots left uncarded.
Uncarded, yeah. So TK has kind of worked out. He's done a lot of prep. He's even got his notebook out and done research and shit. So you know he's serious.
I know what I'm doing here.
He's serious. So he's worked out it should take about half an hour for each of the things.
Yep.
By the end of that, he should have unlocked the 3 chapters and the other trophy. So by the end of this stream, we should have another trophy.
We should do.
We should have another trophy.
Let's start the game and find out. And we want to continue.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to
So yeah, very much like a book.
Oh yes,
storybook. There is a narrator. There is
scouting for the secret rebel base.
an interesting progression.
Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renata knew that using it could go catastrophic.
There will be spoilers in the stream, by the way.
Yeah, TK is having to, in order to do this, he's starting from like the middle of levels.
The temple had risen out of empty desert.
No. I'm starting from scratch each time.
Oh, I thought it was like in the middle of the level because
But you gain a knowledge from each ending you unlock. You gain knowledge, and that helps you make decisions to find the one true ending.
He could find a way to
right. So does this start change as you unlock endings then?
Yeah, the path changes as you unlock endings.
Okay.
His old friend
So that big thing there, that's because I found the true ending. So it now kind of guides you on the path to the true ending if you want to.
True ending.
Feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
This isn't a Shadow the Hedgehog style thing at all. There is some choices he has to make.
So the 3 endings I've got left to do, we can start from either one of these 3. So which one do you fancy?
Go from the top.
So we can't make new old friends. So we know that the rebellion is out of time and we need a game changer. And so we need to pretend Lupino is absolutely fine.
Renato finally realized that Lapino was a traitor to the cause, and maybe Renato could use that somehow.
With a great fucking saw.
Yeah. And it's like, yes, and he does have a plot to how to use that knowledge, should you wish to go down that path, but at the moment we don't. We want to pretend it's all fine.
Okay.
And it was obviously just a fluke due to unfortunate circumstances or something like that. And we should just forget anything bad has ever happened.
Yeah.
And we are going for ending number 19, called A Bucket of Death.
Lovely title. Some of these endings have got some lovely, interesting titles.
Apparently,
do.
The Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble given time, but he was out of time.
Bit quiet for you.
Lapino's frantic message said that the
A little bit,
Ravens
but
were
it's
going to kill him for
fine
being a
in
rebel spy,
the studio.
and
Okay.
Let
that
me
he had
check.
a clever plan.
So you got your headphones on, haven't you?
If
Check the
they
stream.
reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Or so Lapino had told him over the far speaker anyway.
Yeah, we're
We should be at a reasonable volume.
a
Hopefully the game's
reasonable
not too quiet.
volume over things. So it's only when we talk that no one else can hear the fucking
Narrator.
story.
That's okay. That's what subtitles are there for.
Sorry, narrator. Sorry.
He's actually got a very good narration voice. I quite like his voice.
This has got a nice little charm to it because it is very anthropomorphic.
Lapino had apparently
You'll have noticed from the
managed
stuff
to
that
confuse the judge
ravens
by
/
arguing that he
crows
hadn't actually
are the bad
stolen
guys.
winged horse. He'd only
Not
sold it.
100% obvious from how
Wait.
angled the
Where was the prison?
game is.
The village was
I
empty.
will say we are rather oversaturated.
Had everybody fled the ravens?
Again,
Are we?
I want to say it's bright.
So we're not paying attention.
Yeah, you play the game, and then we'll look at it after you've played the level. So these are the ravens, which are the bad guys' henchmen. And the manic combat, much with the button mashing that you can hear in the background, there is some thought
That
to
was
it.
Odd.
Because there are
Renata-
things you can unlock in terms of the
At this
combat
exact place,
skills,
at this exact
from my
time.
understanding of the game.
But this time, there was
Because
so
you
many more
can
ravens.
like pull out combos, pull out magic, things like that. And there is actually a trophy in here where you have to, in one combat, do every single combat
Maneuver.
maneuver. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I got it by not luck, but it was more skill than luck, I will say. But
There
was
was a
actually
bit of
quite
luck.
lucky. I was actually managed to get it all in one go
Yeah.
Renata
It's not like in
looked
one
around
level or
thinking,
in one run. It's like in
in
one
one
area.
combat area. Yeah.
Ever imagined Lapino
elf.
was anything but a traitor? Any honest rabbit would have fled with the villagers.
I don't want to go that way because that just takes me into more needless, not fighty stuff.
So TK has a bunch of abilities that he's unlocked. I think everything that he's unlocked
well.
aside from the stories.
Jump down.
It's a rather charming little area because it's like floating rocks in the sky. Bizarre world, this is. Oh, I see. It was just you're in the sky, so therefore have all of the brightness.
And now we're underground, and so have some dimness.
Have some dimness, but we've probably still set this quite bright. The floating thing that's following him is the Uber weapon, if I understand the lore of this from what I've barely seen that you can pick up.
Ravens were landing everywhere.
But I want to say you don't have that from the outset. This is
Keep
because
back and
TK's
moving.
gone through a fair few
If they got
times.
to Lapino first, they'd eat him for breakfast.
Graveyard.
Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky.
As TK decides to swing his sword at nothing.
Yes, because I was waiting for the big scary thing to blow something up for me, so I didn't get hit.
Well,
Ah,
unless
okay.
he really was a traitor.
And of course you have the barrel
Then they'd
smashing as
probably
well.
pin a
Of
medal on
course.
his chest.
Is there an inanimate object? Smash it! And there is the first section of the
Dirty,
first level
this
done.
bloody.
This is not Final
Renato
Fantasy, by the way,
finally
guys. We're
reached
not in a church with a
The
with a
rabbit
pretty
was
flower yard,
practicing his
Flower cellar.
flower cellar
Renato
at all.
recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, see, this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Thought in
Capture
that plan.
the
I know, right?
greatest general,
God.
who happened to also be a deadly sorcerer. And
We kidnap
his only daughter.
probably one of the most heavily guarded people in the country.
Would be worth
Yep.
it.
And then we're fine.
And then she'll just tell us everything.
Yeah.
Because that's how that works.
And he felt sure.
By
she
the
had one
way,
for him.
I fleece guards in
On the
card
other
games
hand,
and kind of broke out
He
of
could still
jail
get to
because
the
they owe
core
me
of the
money.
Sky Ripper.
Trust
Even
me.
if he couldn't get the whole thing, it must have great power.
Yeah, it's a Sky Ripper that's following me around.
Yeah. So power up the weapon
Yep, we want to get the core.
or the thingy. So we're getting the core because this is the run. We're not showing everything off, but this is TK completing the
Make the
stories.
Sky Ripper. The transcendent emperor had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god. Bernardo had already
The eye of the
let
god
that
that
armature
conveniently
slip
looks like a
away to
D20.
save Lupino's life.
There's a bit.
But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that. The core of the Sky Ripper? Lupino's excited. That's an actual thing that we could just go and get. You've been busy. He sure had. Bernardo told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages.
So notice the big
won
villain,
and
the Emperor,
lost,
is a ginormous frog.
scrapes they'd barely got out of.
Toad.
It was
Amphibian.
good to be
His
back
army
with
is ravens.
friend.
His daughter's a cat.
The core was capable of terrible, uncontrollable
His daughter's adopted.
destruction.
Yeah.
But this time, he was sure it would work.
Hello,
great.
anthropomorphic stories.
I say his daughter is adopted so that he can use her as a ritual sacrifice, so that he can then become gain the
cat
power of the
burglar.
gods, and basically become a soul
Beautiful
eater.
here, thought Renato. It was
Soul
nice
eater.
to be
There's
back
so
with
many-
his
there's
old
so many-
war buddy.
Story hooks reference from
Alright.
other stuff. I
Lapino
have a
was
bad
traitor,
feeling about this.
but
Yeah.
still,
He says in this
was good
gorgeous, luscious green rock floating in the sky.
It is quite oversaturated, isn't it?
It is a little bit bright. I still feel these are the settings for a fucking Kingdom Hearts run.
Let's see if I can fix that just before we continue.
For those of you unaware, I started Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS3, and there is a night time cycle on the first level, and it went from I can see things fine to holy shit, I can't see anything very quickly. And on YouTube doesn't give a fuck about your contrast. It gets worse.
I've made a minor tweak, so hopefully that'll fix some of
It looks better on the YouTube feed. It might. I would say it might be the monitor. We probably need to sort out fucking settings somewhere along the line. But the trouble is, that's like an entire afternoon of twiddling with knobs, which is not necessarily the funnest thing. He's jumping down wells again.
I am. There's lots of well jumping in this run, apparently.
Like, fuck this level. I'm gonna jump down a well.
Well, that was a good idea, wasn't it?
And now he's welled. Shh. Dum-dum-dum-shh.
And Vi, both Gwyneth, go Gareth, when the Roth, Quintessilio,
there
go.
was
So now we're in like a mine area, I say, basing off the massive crystal.
Something that had been fermenting for a
But
very
we're
long
still
time.
floating rocks above the sky. This planet is weird, planet. This world is weird. Yeah, thankfully the bad guys are relatively easy to deal with, but they do, if they hit you, you get less experience because it fucks up your perfects and stuff. And you've seen him grab someone to block hits, do the dash a few times.
Yep. There are many ways you can hurt
Almost
ravens.
Palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have tumors,
Stabby.
it would
And
look
then
like
there
these
is
monstrous
doors.
crystals.
There are doors. I do know this from
Quiet.
watching TK, and I think from a little bit I've seen of the
instincts,
story
but
before
birds.
TK started playing this. Doors are opened with your sword, but not in the I will smash it open way. Swords are keys. No, this is not Kingdom
A
Hearts.
bad feeling about this.
He took a hit.
Maybe Lapino was right. Maybe.
Get over here.
And you can see from the enemies there are mechanics you have to pay attention. There are the skinny ravens that are mages because they shield or buff other people, from what I can tell.
Yep.
And then there's the bruiser ravens, which is basically I'm a brick shithouse covered in feathers.
And there is the core of the Sky Ripper.
As he held
If you're
the
thinking this
raven's
seems
eye to
really,
defeat,
really short, this is because
Bernardo
TK has
felt
played
queasy.
these levels
like
over and
dozens
over
of
repeatedly,
tiny
so does
worms
know
nibbling his
the route.
insides. It
And also,
wasn't
they are
healthy
really quite
to be
short.
so close to the
But I'd
eye
imagine
of
if
a
first
god.
time playthrough,
How
you
could
explore
he
more
use
and you
it?
don't necessarily,
He could
Yeah, you take it a
to
little
the
bit slower.
observatory.
jump down the
Scientists
wells
there
every
You're
single
not,
time.
you're not running from point A to point B
Power.
quickly.
No.
But honestly,
And also,
Renato
you're a
hated
lot
to
weaker.
Get away from it.
Yeah.
He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Bernardo ached to be rid of it. Tell you what, said Lapino. I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial Outpost. The Imperial Outpost was a vital communications node.
Notice large, heavy
Taking
armored
it
raven.
Shattered the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Reynardo. But what if Lapino lost the core to the Empire? That could be a good thing, couldn't it?
What if we lost the
Was
major
Reynardo
weapon
ready
to the
take that
Empire?
risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself.
Weirdly enough, it's better if we take the core to the scientists ourselves.
Strange that.
Lapino
Strange.
was a touchy rabbit. Reynardo knew that. You're brave, I know, Reynardo said. But this is what I was hired to do. Oh, well, at least let me run ahead and warn them you're coming. Reynardo wondered if Lapino was up to no good.
Of course he's going to warn the
What if the
Empire
rabbit warned
first.
the Empire instead. Oh, but
Where would
Lapino
betrayal
wouldn't
be?
betray him like that. Not again. Before it'd been a fluke, right?
Right.
They finished the trip to the Nexus in silence. He would offer Lapino a chance to betray him, or not to. His old friend deserved another chance to prove true. All right, Reynardo said. Go.
I mean, I'm all for giving people second chances,
Yeah.
especially in stories. But when it's a case of, hi, I'm your bestest friend who betrayed you previously, but I'm going to betray you again, in terms of how they interact to you, it's like a case of, no, stop it.
As Reynardo watched Lapino vanish on the horizon,
I want to go back to my ship. No, denied.
You can't leap over this tiny gap.
His knees really be aching this much? But how could
Yeah.
he have handed the
So
core
the
off to
entire
Lapino?
world is floating rocks in the sky
Was a
with
recipe for
airships.
disaster.
There'll be a great more airships later on.
Yeah, proper airships as well. Not these Zeppelin things you get with other games.
Do you know why everything is rocks in the sky, or is it not really explained?
It's just, that's the world.
I guess it's fill in your own lore.
Exactly. Although there is another game set in this universe.
Is there?
Yes, I can't remember the name of it now.
Ah,
If you pop to their website, it'll be on the website.
that
It's
would
not necessarily connected to this game, but it is in the same world.
Well, that's fine. That makes sense. So here we go. Is another mechanic. This is the slingshot,
The hookshot.
hook shot.
Which you can use against enemies. In fact, you have to get a trophy.
Yeah, and you have to unlock the skill tree as well. And you notice there's the environmental bits dropping off. So it is something you have to pay attention to.
Over here.
You are not Scorpion. There is a lot of pretty... Oh, now we have got shield guards and there's the heavy armor guys. There is a lot of pretty explosions, so it can indeed be maybe a bit manic on the stream. All I will say is that this,
Goodbye, bitrate.
this ain't Warframe. You're fine. It's like, I can't see shit due to bright
Leonardo
lights. Yeah,
felt
this
worse.
isn't Warframe.
All his joints were
You can
aching
still
now.
see.
He'd been through beatings that felt better than this. So the core had a kind of poison that could harm you without even touching you.
Called radiation, dear. Radiation.
Yeah.
It had power. The rebellion needed something with power. And how was this any worse than a sword wound? Well, a death by sword was sudden and fair. This was just squalid. A piecemeal death, like old age.
Fairly sure radiation death is nothing like old age. Whilst TK takes fireballs to the face. This is a common thing with switches and these particular traps.
Yeah.
So I've watched TK redo this a bit, this particular section a few times. I've yet to see him get through on a regular basis without taking a fireball to the face or two. I also want to understand the logic of the designer of this particular airship, who thought, instead of having them both up, why not have a lever that will lower one but raise the other?
Or maybe it affects how it flies. You notice how it kind of steers.
Oh yeah, good point. Like I said, make up your own lore. We also now have a yellow birdie.
Yeah, he explodes, so I want to stay the fuck away from it if I want to get it perfect. Like that.
Ah.
Right, so... We've come from there, we are going over there.
Navigation is not horrendous, not
This
compared to
chest
some other
contained
games.
A Vorpal sword.
Ah,
I'm just kidding. Vorpal swords don't exist.
Nice Jabberwocky reference.
This game does have lots of little subtle references to things.
I like Jabberwocky references. It was a favourite story of mine.
Oh no, what's happened to the scientists?
They appear to be fucked up. And you are not to blame.
For
this
once.
time. Yeah. Although the fact that it's like an entire chaos fucking symbol.
The observatory was a burning hulk.
It's like, here's the all-seeing eye of Horus. Why the fuck is that there? Unless that's supposed to be a raven thing.
They must have known we were coming, said Lupino.
Yes. Yes, they did.
I wonder how they knew.
Did you? Well, see, I was doing a card trick with my lucky deck, and I kind of bobbled the cards, so I went under the desk to gather them up, and boom! I guess we'll have to take the car straight to the secret base.
I went under the desk to gather up, and then everything exploded, because that's how card tricks
He
work.
was talking so fast. He always seemed to make sense.
No.
The secret rebel base. Yes. They had engineers there.
You can see we've got an exclamation mark. That
Calaveras,
means there's some plot you haven't
sage
explored
in the
yet.
mountains.
Yeah.
Maybe he would know what to do with the naked core.
Naked core?
Naked core.
With liquid core and solid core. Oh,
So-
wait, wrong franchise.
We are going to meet the council at the secret base.
Yes. So this is ending
yes.
1 of 3.
The secret
Ending
base.
19, in fact.
Not
I think
even
we're
Lupino
on,
knew where
we're
it
on
was.
fair good
They
track.
had engineers there. Those toads
Oh, we did
would
waffle a bit
surely
at the
know
start,
what to
so-
do with
Yeah,
the
a little
core's
bit.
power,
I think we're on good track.
and then he'd be free of it. But he couldn't take Lupino. The core would work its evil on him too. You stay here.
I like how it goes, work
Give me
its
the
evil.
coordinates.
You
I'll
know,
meet you there.
just irradiate you.
Lupino seemed awfully anxious to have the coordinates of the secret rebel base. Someone needs to bury these scientists. Why do I get all the fun jobs? And with that,
Bury these
Renato
scientists.
returned to the
Dig the
farm
hole
there.
6 feet deep
Took
and
off.
bury them standing up. Therefore, there'll be more space.
Yeah.
Because Og's Odyssey.
Horrible story. We'll bury tall, thin, narrow graves that they can stand up in. And that way we can pack more of them
the
in.
ruins were
I wouldn't
quiet.
say it was the worst I got drunk
But
on,
Renato
but
could
my
hear a
god, it got
buzzing in his
close.
ears. Was it bugs? Or was it the core slowly
Never do a
feeding him
drinking game on
poison?
shitty book
The
reads.
council
Is
would
there
know
a
what
fight
to
down
do.
here? I can't remember.
If the core had this much power, it could surely change the terms of the great battle that was
I know there's
coming.
no...
And maybe they would take
don't.
this burden.
I don't
from
care about
him.
your crummy chests. Actually, then again, I'm a bit low on health.
Health. A bit low on health.
Nom 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 nom.
Yes, because you're being drained.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Your health is slowly going down because you're running around with an irradiated weapon.
I hadn't spotted that.
But thankfully, your health does go up because you do have some sort of life leech thing. So
Yes, I do. I don't know where I got that from either.
that's a good thing. TK, who has been playing this game repeatedly, suddenly realizes this effect.
Yeah, about 12 or so runs ago, I was like, wait a second, I'm gaining health from fighting. What's going on here? When did this happen? Is this why all the fights have been so easy recently?
I dread to think you're doing this plot line, this particular plot line early then, because it's like low health.
Oh, yeah.
Being drained by the thing that you're carting around, and no life leech. Damn,
Renato
that would
left
fuck you
Lupino
up.
behind because the core was poisoned. The core was poisoned because he didn't have the armature. He didn't have the armature because he'd rescued Lupino. Renato's tech.
Explanation of what's going on, just in case you didn't pay attention. Teleporting fucking ravens.
Ooh, now do I go the actual way
How
or
had it
do I go
come
this
to this?
bonus way?
Renato had signed
Well,
on
it's
with
entirely
an
up to you.
adventure.
You're the one playing the game.
Sure, the Emperor had gone
I'm gonna go
mad.
explore.
Sure, Renato had heard horrors.
There might be
from the
another
ghosts
fight.
of dead kittens and puppies
For all that
sacrificed in his
experience that you
blasphemous
don't
rituals.
need.
But when he jumped in, he'd only been a little bored and slightly drunk.
Now, there are boss fights, I want to say, that exist in...
Not so much, no. There is kind of
Run.
what you might consider boss.
Because he hated to
boss.
quit in
No,
the
they're not
middle.
even bosses really. It's just
That
more
was
ravens.
his fatal
Oh, okay.
flaw. He had to know
I thought you
how
said
it
there was
all
at least
turned
a
out.
boss room or something.
No, it's kind of the final fight against all the ravens.
All the ravens.
The airship. It's not so much a boss fight. It's just a lot of ravens.
Which we will get to. amidst the fucking
I ran
explosions
straight into an explosion.
That-
Genius.
TK is tanking. Hell of a lot of books here.
Yeah.
For a secret base, we just pile books in piles.
Why not get on with it? Oh shit, that won't help.
Ah, yes. And this was the bit that I've watched TK do a few times as well. Watchers
stairs.
or
Gogglers.
He was close
Yeah.
to the rebel base.
You are gonna get.
He was on fire.
You need to life leech the fuck, by the way.
I noticed. There we go.
It may sound like he's button mashing, but he does know what he's doing.
It's true.
Should do. He's repeated the same level over and over again a few times. Secret passageway.
At least I can't get level drained in cutscenes.
He dropped the core at the entrance to the council chambers.
Get
Yeah.
that thing out of here.
Croaked the speaker.
It's making us sick.
Makes us sick as well.
That's the core of the Sky Ripper, said Renato.
No, it's not useless at all.
Said an engineer toad.
It's poisonous. Look at the fox. He's ill.
Look at you.
Probably
You're
dying.
probably fucked.
Yeah, not useless at all, said Renato. So what do I do? Rub it on His Majesty?
Yes.
The engineer chuckled. Renato didn't like it when engineers chuckled. Oh, I got it. Listen, I can make a bomb that spread bits of the core all over a circle about 100 paces wide. Yeah, little chunks of poison and death.
So,
All you have to do is just get it near
in
the
this
Emperor.
run,
He'll
we
kill him and his
make
bodyguard and
a
chop off
dirty
the head of the
bomb.
fleet.
Yes.
Yeah, and if we're lucky, might poison some of the ravens around there as well. What about me?
you're
Right,
fucked.
What about you? Well, I'll build in a timer. You can set it and run. No, that's a horrible idea, said Renato.
Well, we had to do something, yes?
Said the speaker.
This is something.
True, this
Renato
is
couldn't
something.
argue with that. And so, reluctantly, Renato loaded the rigged core onto the Farfarer.
I feel like
Set
we've now
sail towards the
pulling more
Emperor's
references from Final
Rebels
Fantasy
put the
VII.
fight
We're going to
to the
put a
Imperial
bomb
fleet.
with a timer
But Renato
in this
was too
massive,
sick to
great
enjoy
big
it.
reactor.
He must
We're
have
gonna
been
Not a
s-
reactor, it's
as
the
a
enemy
firm
base
hand
thing.
grabbed
We're
Airship
gonna
shoved him
we're
forward.
gonna set the timer to
was
something
it.
stupid, and then try and get out.
And there's going to be some arbitrary fights along the way,
Yeah,
which will eat into our time.
yeah, because fuck those fights. My first playthrough ever of Final Fantasy, I thought, yeah, in a shorter time, it'll get me a
fleet
reward and I can
seemed
get out
very
fine.
big,
The
and
fuck?
its ravens
Wrong.
very tough. Or maybe he was
This
just
is
slower
something.
and weaker than before. He hated the idea of poisoning the
It's
enemy.
the best way of getting around the argument. Like,
Face to face with a raven.
We have to
let
do
the best
something, and we do
swordsman
something.
survive.
yeah,
They wouldn't
that's
even know
technically
what was killing them.
correct.
I'm going to go the
Feather by
long way, I
feather,
think, for this one.
scale by scale.
You want the health.
I want the health,
Didn't
yeah.
mind dying a hero.
Like here, bad
That
guys in
sometimes went with
chests.
being a hero.
Where are you, bad guys in chests?
He didn't feel at all like a hero. Not today.
Oh god, the bright spiky lights.
Use dirty bomb on the Emperor.
Fucking hell.
They don't shy away from it. They know exactly what it is.
Yeah, some of the titles on these things for this game is
On the nose?
yeah. Here we go. So welcome to Airship Land. I feel this is very much an explorer's heaven.
No, it's very linear.
Oh, okay.
I hear black
It looks very explory, but it's not. It is very linear.
God, there's a lot of airships.
Yeah, there are. And this is on a base PS4.
I don't know if they'll actually do a PS Pro or 5 update for this game. Although saying that, I was surprised at the number of things that got an update for
I was
Pro.
making stupid mistakes.
Remember, TK, fireballs hurt if you take them to the face.
That's true. You can see the Emperor's ship.
I've also seen him
long and
conveniently
sleek,
take
floating
every
past.
fireball to the face on
The bomb
that
had only
particular
poisoned a circle
fucking
100
trip
paces
as well.
wide. He would get as close as he could, reset it.
But then normally there's no real penalty
this is a
because
lousy
with the
way
life
to
leech,
win
I
a
just
rebellion,
get the health back in the next fight.
Yes.
He didn't want a medal for this.
Now we actually have
Just
stakes.
wanted to
Yes.
be forgotten.
Like, hey, do you want to be slowly poisoned to death? You don't? Don't do this run yet. Bye, Raven. I know you had wings, but clearly you don't anymore. Oh, that is skank. We'll shield each other. Was that?
Nearly at the boss fight.
With more cannons. Oh, and
too fast.
face tank.
Too fast.
That's not too bad.
Normally I'd time that better.
You're all right for health-ish.
Yeah, it's not leeching it that quickly.
Well, no, because otherwise you wouldn't stand a chance.
Oh, okay. Final fight's up here. Fine.
Ooh.
I'm used to running across that gangplank.
Yes, there is a slight adjustment to routes, which is quite nice.
You can see more of the big ass enemy ship.
Oh yeah. And another fight. Get over here. There we go.
And now the cutscene plays out.
Oh, I see.
Renato twisted the timer and the bomb as far as it would go and staggered off. His knees hurt. Oh, everything hurt.
Well, you're
He
dead.
staggered away as far as he could until he had to lie down. He could see the entire Imperial fleet from here and the rebel ships engaged with it. There was a blinding flash. And a second later, a monstrous thump. Burning rocks arced across the sky over both fleets. A wreath of fire shot outwards, rolling across the fleets. A pillar of smoke boiled up from where the Emperor's ship had been. It reached into the clouds. That's a wee
Yeah.
bit more than 100 paces.
Yeah.
It took Renato most of that evening to die. Some of the toughest ravens lasted all week. Some of the rebels in the furthest ships survived as much as a month. That winter, with neither Empire nor rebels to rule them, the islands slid into banditry. And so began the second age of darkness.
Well,
Happy
that
ending.
was a shit ending, wasn't it, Guilt Boys and Girls?
So what kind of hero are you? A hero who condenses enemies to slow and painful death. Not much of a hero.
Bucket of death. Yeah, there's a bunch of these odd story endings. So from here you can see, I suppose you could say, the tiers, the endings.
Yeah. So these are the 4 truths, basically. So the first truth is that Lupino is a traitor. Yeah, so spoilers. The second truth is that Zenobia actually does have feelings for Renato. Third truth is the Iblis Stone, which we'll come across in a moment, corrupts anyone who uses it. And the fourth one is the Sky Ripper's core is unstable
No shit.
and has a tendency of blowing up.
Yeah. So the Sky Ripper ones you see, there's 6,
There's a
7.
Yeah, so in this particular ending, they calculate that the Sky Ripper has a 1 in 128 chance to destroy the universe. So Ronaldo interprets it as that's 127 chances to be fine, and just 1 chance to destroy the universe. And so he uses it just that once and destroys the universe. He's a smart cookie, is Arnold Ronaldo.
He was playing XCOM at that point.
And it's like, what kind of hero are you? The hero that is willing to risk space, time, the universe, and everything, if the odds are in his favour.
I mean, it wasn't bad odds.
Yeah, it wasn't bad odds.
No.
And then, of course, if you unlock the true ending, you get the Hero Path trophy.
Yeah. So you don't need to unlock everything else to unlock the true ending.
No, I did down about my 6th or 7th run.
Nice. I think, was that just because you were like unlocking something in each path?
Yeah, once you get one of all the 4 truths, basically, you've then got the ability to go down the correct path.
Yeah. Cool.
We shall continue.
We shall now try to do
And I
one
shall
of the other 2.
mark this one as done, so I don't do it again by mistake.
TK is now going to pull out his notes.
Right, so we've got find the gem or find the armature.
Do the armature.
The gem is the Iblis Stone.
Oh, okay. Do the Iblis Stone, because
Okay.
Clouds
some
parted
context.
over
We
the
now
Isles
know
of
about the
Boreas.
Sky Ripper.
It was time to choose.
So the armature is
The rebellion was in trouble.
kind of tread over the
Ravens
same
were scouting
ground.
for the secret rebel base.
The only
They
one
needed a
annoyance I have with this
game
game is you
changer.
can't skip these
Pieces
particular
of the
bits.
Sky Ripper had surfaced.
Some cutscenes you can
Bernardo
kind of
knew
skip a
that
bit,
using it
but
could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert.
that's where we're going.
The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it.
There is a
Take
lot
its power
of
without surrendering to its
dangerous power
wickedness. And also,
Yes, there is.
in
his old
this.
friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had
And there is a
betrayed the
lot
rebellion.
of stuff that's
And he had
happened
a gut
before
feeling
this,
that
because
he
they're
needed to
talking
use
about
that
a
to his
rebellion
advantage.
and shit like that.
Yeah, we are kind of in the middle of the story, effectively, when we start.
That's fine. I mean, technically that was Star Wars, the original Star Wars,
Yeah.
and no one really complained about that. They liked the fact that there was a history that was led out. Feel free to continue. That was led out in the films.
So we're finding the Iblis Stone.
The island was
We're going
windswept
forward.
What the fuck is
No one
that?
went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters.
That's an ostrich
The
hunter.
Iblis stone. It would whisper promises in his ear, offer him power for blood. But this time,
So he's
Renato
tried
was
it
sure he could
before
master it.
because the
And
wording
so-
is
Renato went off.
Yeah,
This
you see when you
time-
ever get that little icon in the corner?
Yeah.
That means it's from something he's learned via a previous run through.
yeah.
Because basically, he's not actually doing any of this. This is
Every child
the
could sing
book
verses
telling
about
him
the
what might
Sky
happen
River.
if you made certain choices.
Ancient
Oh,
codices
I
held
see.
hints of
Okay.
other things.
And then once he's
stone
gone through all the
that
options,
exalts.
he finds the one true
ruby
path,
that
and then he
drank
knows
blood.
that's how he'll win.
A jewel
And so
only a righteous
that's how he then manages to beat.
Oh.
So all of this
Stings
doesn't actually
Iblis
happen,
stone.
what you're seeing.
What
One
you're
hidden
playing
rebellion
is him
temple.
reading the
Another
possible
ancient item that was
adventures of
only
him.
Yes, this is him making the choices
Drawn
to
up from the
decipher how
deeps
things
by the
might play
Emperor's
out.
horrific rituals.
Fucking Inception in a fucking game, right? So
Yeah.
you are
What
playing
was he
him reading
doing
the book
Last time,
until you figure out how to play the game.
possession of his own soul.
It's basically a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah.
Except we're playing the character that's reading the book.
Yeah, looking for the way to cheat to win.
Yeah, we're not reading the book. We're playing the character who's reading the book and imagining themselves in the story.
It's the most inventive way of introducing the concept of putting your fingers in the pages.
Yeah.
God, I remember doing that with Choose Your Own Adventure books. It's like the Peter Jackson ones and stuff like that. There were quite a few at one point.
Ian
Quite
Livingstone.
nice. Ian Livingstone, that's the one.
Cawing in frustration. He was
Come on,
still
Dor.
searching for a way in.
You're not dying through poison
hadn't
damage
come
at least
late.
this time, so you're all right.
Not yet.
We got lava. Lava.
And we have crows and ravens.
So it does. There are different levels as you take different routes, which is nice.
Yeah, invariably in a run through, you will end up in the Nexus. You will end up somewhere near the mountains. But you should start in different places. I've taken more damage, damn it.
You will get blown up because paying attention. Guy with shields.
Not paying attention. I was scratching my nose.
Guy with shields stood there watching you swing your sword at nothing. It was like, I'll be fine. I'll wait for him.
What's he doing? He's weird. I don't want to fight him. He's strange.
I would love to have a game that that is a bit more aware of what your character is doing and would make comments like that. I know they've tried with certain games, and I know certainly that there are some that try to go and make you give a shit about the fact that you're killing bad guys, but they always do it in the worst possible way. It's like, we'll when you kill someone, we'll get the guys to call out, "Fuck, you killed Jason." It's like,
Don't care.
don't care. Fuck Jason.
Om nom 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 health.
Whereas Borderlands went, "Oh shit, you killed the guy I owed money to. That's awesome." It's like, that's funny. That
There
works.
had to be some way to use the Iblis stone.
Now, was
Was
this a
old,
shortcut?
wasn't it?
Don't think so.
People are so much cleverer now.
So you will have also noticed TK
Renato
did
was
change his
pretty
sword
sure
in
he
order
was
to open the door.
cleverer than
Yep.
most people.
I think the swords are different elements.
They are indeed. So this is a fiery element. I can trigger it to go boom, 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 boom.
Hey, now we're playing Warframe.
Or I can use ice and freeze things. or there is dark magic.
I'm glad we toned down the screen a bit.
And this one, if I use its sword power, I get health.
Ah, the healing sword.
Yes.
Right. The trick here, TK, is not to face tank Burny Flames. Good.
I like the burning flame.
I like the Burny Flames, but when you face tank it, it hurts.
Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
This is a temple? Holy fuck.
Yeah, this is a temple.
I would like to point out, from a purely picky real world scenario, if you're
There are
building,
floating platforms in the sky.
yeah, if you're building like rock pillars into lava, which is, you know, molten rock, don't expect your building to stay up.
You are supposed to do levers and things to put up boards so you can make that safely across, but nah, that's effort. I can just run and get the Iblis
It was
stone.
a stone of the
Tiny
purest
speck of black.
blackness.
Yes.
It reflected no light. Like a
Nice.
void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up.
Hello, Sauron.
Who said that? It was the stone. Eager. Thirsty.
I guess having a narrator really saves on voice
Seemed
actors.
tempting
Oh, yeah.
and
I'll just have one
terribly
chap do
wrong.
all the voices.
If it's
Zenobia
done
was
well,
the Emperor's greatest
yes.
general and a
Bastian,
potent witch. But they
um,
had been close once.
their second one, I
And he
can't
had
remember the
sneaking
name with the
suspicion
lass
the
with the
general
ginormous
tried to
sword. That
trap
was
them.
another
And the
good
Stanley
one.
Parable.
Why not capture
Stanley
the
Parable,
core of the Sky
definitely.
Ripper instead?
Icy,
It was the
which
eye
is a
of
very
the
nice.
lost
It's a
god
similar
torn out by the transcendent
concept, but
emperor
a
to power
side-scrolling
his
hacky
greatest
slash.
weapon. To the core, said the stone anxiously.
Okay, so this is where we're going to have potentially
Gem was. He had a clever plan.
have to refer to notes, because as you notice, we don't have an exclamation mark.
No, because I've done most of these stories most of the way through, and then it's like the last choice you make is different, and that then puts you on a different branch.
So we know about the core. Are we having to do the core again?
We're having to do the core again. We're actually having to do the core in each of these runs.
Okay.
annoyingly.
Never mind.
And for this time, we're going to be attacking the outpost afterwards.
Ew.
Sadly, next time we're also attacking the outpost afterwards as well. We're getting the core. Yes, we are.
The stone bothered him. He hated being told what to do. Wasn't that why he joined the rebellion? Wasn't that why he'd refused to be a soldier? He'd agreed to come on board only if he could freelance. The stone felt a bit clingy.
And the stone is Amy Rose.
He did not have his best
Yes.
interests at heart. The sage
Only not in a
Calaveras
nice way.
told him where to find the Sky Ripper, a weapon capable of challenging the gods.
We'll be speaking to Calaveras at the end of the next one.
The core
Hey.
would still possess great power. He would go there.
So there is a massive chunk of lore through these story routes, even if you are repeating certain things.
Yes, yes. And even if we are repeating levels per se, the story will change
The moment
around
he
it.
landed the Farfarer,
Hey,
Renato
it's the
had a
pretty
rare
land.
feeling
Yep,
of
we're back here
regret.
again.
It's not too late, he thought. He could turn around and sail for Zenobia's island. He frowned.
Regrets.
Wait a minute.
So if we went this way,
He didn't want to kill
We'd find a
Zenobia,
chest.
did he? Sure,
Or
technically
would we?
she was the enemy, but they'd
get
been
stuck on the
at
scenery.
from school together.
That's always a good
They'd never
game.
been
There's a
lovers,
chest
but
and a
somehow
glowy square.
They'd been closer. She'd told him
some
every
health and
secret
sword
about
energy,
herself.
and then
Teleport.
teleport back
Except
over
the
here.
biggest one, that she was the Emperor's daughter. Whispered the stone. Before it's too late.
Wrong sword.
So this time I won't go down the well, just to make it different.
So is that a thing you unlocked, I take it, the wells for shortcuts?
Yeah, basically. They're not so much shortcuts as just alternate routes.
Oh, okay.
Now, before I shoot you last,
I forgot they're ready to this game.
you can smoothie around here.
Got ganked.
All of the explosions. Yeah, trying to pay attention to the enemy's attacking patterns does look to be a little bit difficult.
Nom 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 nom.
Although I think they do signpost at least a little bit.
Yeah,
what
they'll
they're
normally
gonna
have an exclamation point if they're getting ready to do a big attack on you, which you can then use to parry them.
do. I do like parry systems. I mean, the original parry system for me was Batman, Arkham Asylum, and then into Arkham City, and it
almost never
was
saw
very
wild
innovative at the
goblins
time,
together like this.
even though people do
Toads had
now
to train them not to
replicate
peck
it,
each other to death.
and I don't care because I want them to replicate
I'm stuck.
a good fucking combat system.
The stone hadn't lied about what it could do for him. With each raven,
Although
he
I've
cut
never
down,
done a run on
he felt
Batman,
a
any of the
jolt
Batmans
power
where
flowing into his
you
arm.
turn off the indicators.
Whispered the stone.
There was a challenge for completing the game with that
Are you
off. I
really
think I recall. I may be recalling incorrectly.
It chuckled. But it's unstable. It will poison you if so much as carry it. And if you try to use it, it will explode catastrophically.
We
Leonardo did
know.
not trust rocks that talked in his head. He went onwards.
That was a puzzle. Did you see it?
Ronaldo could feel his
Barely.
fur singe.
I shall now take a switch. There we go.
Stab the door.
So it does look like a fun little hack and slashy. I mean, this wasn't full price ridiculousness game.
No, it was reasonably cheap on the PSN. I don't think a physical copy came out, although if one did, I want to get it. Because I don't mind double dipping for a physical copy of a game I liked.
Borderlands says hello. Yes.
How many copies of Borderlands have you bought?
Well, I
stone
bought
became
the PS3 copy before I bought the Steam copy. I think I also then ended up
plunging his gauntlet into
buying
the core
another copy on another
dying
platform. I
in
can't remember where.
vision,
Stories.
The stone had sent him its darkest fears, hadn't it? He had a sudden impulse to do exactly that. He raised his right fist and plunged it into the core. There was a rush of light. He thought he could hear the stone screaming. And then he passed out.
So yeah, Windows,
When Ronaldo came
PlayStation
to,
4,
The
Xbox
core
One.
was gone. But the Iblis stone was no longer black, but glowing with a blue light.
Ew.
And it was silent. I can't hear you, he sang out. And you? He didn't answer. Ha, he said. He
Voice
had
actor in this is
defeated
really
the
good.
demonic gem with the power of his mind. And he felt invincible. It was time to attack the Imperial outpost on the Nexus. Take the battle to the enemy. But among the huge
Physical
crystals, there was also an observatory.
Don't mind me, I'm just Google
A
searching
wise
whilst
man
TK's
would
playing.
Okay, what
probably
are you
ask
searching
the
for?
Scientists exactly what he
Physical
had
edition.
first.
Oh, of this.
How wise was he?
There's a collector's edition.
Is it physical, though? We are going
Steelbook.
to attack the outpost this time.
Hey!
As the Farfarer sailed towards the Nexus, Bernardo wondered if the core had been created
It's a little bit
silence
dodgily
the
sealed.
stone, or even to feed its hunger.
But yeah, there's a physical copy that exists.
Honestly,
Want it?
he didn't care.
I believe
felt
that
terrific.
is
And he appreciated the quiet inside his head.
PC.
Oh.
Doesn't have a thingy on it. It's on, yeah, PC system requirements.
Boo.
That's fine. Don't boo a PC edition.
The Nexus.
I don't want a
was
PC edition, no. I want a
infested
console
with
edition.
ravens. But that didn't
I mean,
bother
granted,
Bernardo.
it's gone are the days of me buying
The converted
collectible
Iblis
editions on
stone in his
PC for a
gauntlets
while.
glowed brighter, and he felt stronger. Wow. He was getting a bit bloodthirsty, wasn't he? Well, he wasn't. He was a warrior. They're supposed to be bloodthirsty.
Oh, there we go. There's the stone corrupting him then.
The stone might be silent, but it totally hasn't lost its influence on him.
So, welcome to Murder Hobo the Story.
Take that, barrels. Take this, chest. Om nom 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 nom. Is this
Bullet Storm, this ain't.
Can't remember if this is a shortcut route or a
Well, yeah, because with the fact that you would have to unlock the swords in order to then unlock the door, get the other routes.
Yep.
It could indeed be shortcuts, bonuses. I think that was definitely a shortcut from how the level wrapped around. Kind of pretty satisfying watching all of that. So you are also going for the level combat unlocks, aren't you? The skill tree unlocks.
The core, absorbed in the stone, was doing its job.
TK.
Ah, sorry.
You're also going for
Bernardo
the
feel a little
combat
eldritch
skill
jolt
unlocks
every time
on
he
this
downed
run.
a
Yeah.
raven.
And that you have to
Flowed
hit
into
level
glowing stone
50, I
where
think we
water
worked out.
flows
46, I
down
think
over
it
bed.
was.
It all
46.
felt perfectly natural, as if all his life this was what he had been meant
Hopefully
to do.
we do hit that, otherwise TK will be replaying levels.
With the core absorbed.
But we're not
in the
doing too
stone,
bad. We're nearly an
Bernardo
hour
had
into the
enough
stream
power
with
to
bits of
challenge the
waffle.
Imperial fleet. First,
And when all
he
the
would disrupt
cutscenes
the
play
enemy
out.
communication
Yeah, true.
lines.
And here's
Then
the
he would head
outpost,
for the rebel
very nearby.
base. There,
There's the chest you
rebellion would
looted.
launch its final attack.
And there's a oh no, that's your laser. That's fine. Death laser is fine.
Renato tore through the last remaining guards at the outpost like hot coffee through snow. There
Odd
was a
analogy,
fire
but okay.
He called
game
the
has those.
speaker. He knew she would be thrilled, and she was. She wanted him to come back to base. They had plans to discuss and a medal to give him. A large golden medal. Great, said Renato. Let's talk about who else I can kill. Then the fire speaker croaked again.
Hello, Renato.
It said,
If you get sick of slaughtering second-rate birds in the Nexus, I am waiting for you in the mountains.
Zenobia. She missed him. She loved him. Once she saw how awesome he'd become, maybe she'd join him.
Yes, because nothing turns a girl on like
Kiss
mass
and-
slaughter.
Well, if she did refuse for some reason, he was no match for him now.
She's the leader of the armies of the opponents. She does love a bit of mass slaughter.
Yeah.
And we are going to go and visit her.
Yes.
Zenobia was taunting him. No doubt she hoped to lure him into a trap, but it didn't matter, did it? He could fight his way out of any trap. He was invincible.
There is an ending where
This
she
was gonna be
becomes the psychotic evil thing at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, she will become the big bad in one of the endings.
So
They
where
really do
was this
work
ambush? Renato couldn't wait.
various
At
different
Sword
things.
School, she'd always studied a little harder.
Hopefully if we can
practiced
clear
a little
this,
longer, complained.
We can have a look at what the
Maybe
true
a lot
ending
less.
is like.
Yeah, I don't mind playing through the
Then
true ending again.
She'd become a sorceress. He'd always known he'd have to take her by surprise or not
At
at all.
Sword Fu School.
But this would be a surprise.
Sword Fu.
Yes.
I dread to think how many actual trained sword fighters who have played this game read that line and just went, fuck's sake. So there are quite a few different sword schools. I would never say sword fu to one of them though.
Well, that's just the combat style they use in this game.
Yes, sword fu.
It is fiction.
I know. Oh, hello.
Having a bit of a load.
Yep.
The joys of running from an external hard drive through USB.
Yeah, we like creating our bottlenecks in TigerTails Gaming and TigerTails Radio and
Yeah, we
every
do.
other thing. All of the explosions and pretty lights.
The mountain paths were infested with ravens. That was swell. Every time he cut one down, the stone glowed a little brighter. In fact, everything glowed a little brighter. Look how white the snow was. They're very blue, the raven blood was.
Look at the pretty lights. LSD,
Strength against
LSD.
hers.
And you can see as you're going up through here that there's a lot of alternate routes.
Yeah, there are. Let's have to fight.
Let's make this quick. I'm on my break in literally 2 minutes.
Whee. I'm glad it's not setting off my fucking
Yeah, there's
Game
enough. There's
vertigo.
enough kind of ground here, isn't there, to
yeah.
keep you on the level.
Well, you're not jumping down or off of things. That was always the thing that got me, especially with the Spider-Man games, when they got the sudden blur, that sudden shift of blur as you...
Oh, the depth of field.
Yeah, you suddenly go from not just jumping, but jumping down a great height, and suddenly you have that period of swift movement, but the background has gone through that slow blur, and my stomach just hurt every time. I've never thrown up, but it just throws me for a loop each and every single time.
Whereas Sonic Adventure, I did throw up.
Yes.
And Call of Duty 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, Call of Duty 4, you sat down for 20 minutes and then you wandered off.
And then was very ill.
Yeah. Sonic Adventure games, thankfully, have never set me off. Primarily because the graphics are awful.
Bernardo felt antsy.
And it wasn't even the action stages that did it. It was the walking around in the bleeding hobbo that did
He was
it.
on a fool's errand the Emperor's daughter had sent him on. The rebels were preparing a last-ditch attack against
Oh,
the
bad
Imperial
camera is
fleet,
bad camera.
counting on Renato to show up. in
Thankfully,
time.
this camera has not been
Would it be
bad
too late?
at
No.
all.
And there's
The end
Zenobia.
of the path
Cat lady,
was Zenobia.
who's also love
I
interest,
thought you
who's
were gonna
also
ambush me, he said.
gonna
with
get
little
killed.
put out. I owe you better than that. I know how you feel about me, love. You want to join up with me, don't you? You got to admit, we'd make a great team. Of all the arrogant, ham-handed, half-assed, half-witted. Oh, come on. What else you here for? That, she said, as a dropship poured a bucket of green liquid on his head.
Nice.
Drowsy gas. You can't stop me with drowsy gas, Zenobia. My power's too strong. Zenobia? Where was she? When he awoke, he was staring up at the sky. Zenobia looked down at him, frowning. I probably ought to kill you, but that'd be a bit tawdry, wouldn't it? She was tossing the glowing stone from paw to paw. This is pretty.
Zenobia!
He shouted, and then he fell back into sleep.
And so the bloodthirsty
far
evil
fair,
stone gets passed on to
Renato
Zenobia.
guessed his favorite headache remedy. But it did no good. Zenobia had beaten him again. Oh, he really should have listened to the Iblis stone in the first place instead of messing around with the core. He had a bad feeling about the upcoming fight. But what kind of hero misses the final battle?
Well, we're gonna find out.
No, we're not. We're going to go to the final battle. We're not going to miss it.
Renato was bruised and tired. He wasn't
What
looking forward to
heroes
killing
do.
ravens. Didn't even seem scary. It felt like a chore, like sweeping the practice room at Sword Fu School, which he'd done his best to leave for Zenobia whenever he could. What would she do with the glowing Iblis stone? That should terrify him, shouldn't it? But he
Well,
just felt
after effects of having your
stupid as he carved his way towards
entire
the
psyche screwed over by mystical magical artifact. Nice.
There it was again.
Can you care? No.
The back door to the portal that went to the center of the fleet.
Well, actually, I have levels. Let's go shopping.
Ah.
Because I have the skill to purchase, which improves the hook shot speed.
So we then have 2 points.
I think I've got one, actually. Yes!
Yay!
Hey, a trophy! Awesome.
Not entirely sure what you're supposed to do with those extra 2 points. I had initially thought it would unlock, they would open up another thing.
Nope, I guess they're just spare. I've not been up before, I can't remember the route. Or was this just for that goodie? Oh no, that was why.
Your taxi has fucked off. There we go.
There's more where that came from. Sometimes the game gets stuck at that point. And you end up phasing through multiple of them.
Yay.
Now we've skipped a few fights.
It was all so unfair. He'd wanted to protect himself, protect the world from the Iblestone's hunger for blood and souls. And all he'd done is get mugged. Next time he owned a supernatural artifact he wanted tribute, he'd serve it champagne and caviar.
Which probably means in one of those routes he technically kind of did.
Not necessarily champagne and caviar, but blood.
Yeah.
Whole lot of blood.
Yeah. So yeah, we hit 46 a while ago, and then from...
Outpost.
Well, it's not a worry. I mean, you're currently level 48.
True, it's not like I need to stat up anymore.
No.
I've got that trophy now.
It's very odd that it allows you to go over the cap, but that's fine. Don't rush this, TK. There we go. Because most AAA games and that I've played, they normally don't allow over leveling.
Well, I guess the levels don't really matter per se, because the levels just unlock, your skill points to purchase things. So once you've got them all, your level doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to have any kind of stat increase or anything, so...
No.
The final fight.
Where TK bullies a large number... Well, actually, yeah, a large number of crows.
Ravens.
Feathery things that apparently believe their wings are hands.
Apparently that fight's supposed to be difficult.
Well, you have kind of unlocked everything now.
True. And I got the trophy to prove it.
Yeah.
Zenobia was cleaning blood off her sword and weeping. It's so hungry. I can't stop killing, she said. But I fed it the core of the Sky Ripper, and now it's hungry again. She wept. It was true. The Iblestone was black again. A void that seemed to suck all the light out of the sky. Take it from me, Renato.
Here, have
I
this
still can. Okay.
gem that turns you into a bloodthirsty monster.
Take it, he said. Yes, he thought. This is what it means to be a hero. To save the soul of even his old enemy when it looked like all was lost. He stepped forward to accept the sword from her outstretched hand. She flipped the sword, and the blade went into his gut. As the Iblestone sucked his soul into its infinite darkness, he could vaguely hear a voice, something like Zenobia's chuckle. Sucker.
So that didn't end well for him either.
Yeah, another one where she turns into the evil psychotic.
The fox who got mugged.
Yeah,
The hero who fights until the end, even when he is humiliated.
And you're also getting these rewards. What are the rewards?
The rewards
for?
are there for upgrading your weapons.
Ah.
Each weapon has 2 levels. And so they are quite hefty to unlock, so these endings really do help with that. But you can find items in chests as well, which is useful. And then once you've fully upgraded all your weapons, they just dispense health and weapon energy.
Oh, I see.
So they're still useful. Unless, of course, you're like me and you're just leeching health, and therefore... and rarely ever use the weapon energy, because it doesn't really serve any extra purpose once you're at this kind of level.
So we have one more story left.
Yep. Which is
And this will
story
then
23. So we're going to be repeating a couple of sections.
No surprise.
We are getting the core again, and we are attacking the outpost again. But we are then meeting Calaveras.
This specialist toad?
Yes.
Fancy
He
toad.
is a knowledgeable toad.
Knowledgeable toad.
He has information. Much information. He's wise.
So effectively, you're playing the character who's reading the book and effectively doing what you have been doing by taking notes
The
of what's
clouds
going on.
parted
Yeah.
over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble.
We know, but we can't
Ravens
skip
were
it.
scouting
Really
for the
annoying.
secret rebel base. They needed a game changer.
This does feel very
Pieces of
Star
the Sky
Warsy.
Ripper had surfaced.
The rebellion against the
Using
Empire.
it
Yes.
could go catastrophically
Only this time,
wrong.
the rebellion is going
He was
out to find a
sure he could
fucking
figure out how to
world-ending
use it safely.
weapon.
The Death Star of its very own.
A temple had risen out
What
of
does it do? It
empty
does
vessels.
death!
The Iblis stone was hidden there.
So now we're going to get the armature, so we're actually going to build the
dangerous
entire Sky Ripper.
It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness.
Nope.
And also, his old friend
I'm
Lapino
guessing a
needed
lot of the
rescue.
endings just end
course.
badly, aside from the
About 24 of them do, yeah.
Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
I mean, the way they've managed to come up with creative ways of killing Ronaldo is quite good.
You are the hero, you're gonna get fucked.
Completely 24 different ways.
Yep.
So yeah, we're building the Sky Ripper.
Every child knew about the
Which does
Sky
remind me, there's an
transcendent
anime
emperor
called
had buried its pieces
ReZero,
And then this
which
emperor's horrific
kind of has
sacrifice
a
brought it back
what
to the
we
surface.
always refer to as a very
Ronaldo wasn't
trashy
exactly sure how to
superpower.
use the legendary weapon.
Because you know when we played Orthodoxy,
Surely
I do.
there must
we
be
had a
some
character
way to
that
do it without
effectively
provoking
was
another
called Save
catastrophe.
Game, could go back to a save
And
state.
he somehow
He is
summoned
a
the long-lost
Japanese
components
kid
of the legendary
in an
weapon out
isekai,
of the
so
deep
fantasy
depths of the
world.
earth.
And
It's more than
effectively,
Ronaldo
every
could
time he
fathom.
dies,
But if
he
he could
goes
find
back to a
legendary
certain
weapon,
point
he would
before
use
death.
it.
And he isn't skilled, so he goes into a world where people fuck him up on a regular basis until
As
he
he set
gets
foot
his
in the
muscle
island,
memory to the
Ronaldo
point where he
couldn't help
knows how to
feeling a bit
deal with all of the
furious.
fuck ups.
Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued?
Like 2 or 3
No.
seasons now, and I
He was
really
probably drinking
really
champagne
need
with the
to
Raven.
watch this because I've heard some
Did
very good
ravens
things.
drink champagne? Did rabbits? Ronaldo felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Ronaldo never made plans that required constant vigilance.
Constant
He was a
vigilance.
He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature.
Ah,
Could he stick with
spy
it?
eyes. Thankfully, you seem to be able to one-shot them quite easily.
Yeah, they are one-shot death. They aren't complicated, but they do really mess you up if you get in that beam of light.
And for a mechanic, it's one I do like in games because it's a very obvious guard, sneak, one-shot thing. Metal Gear Solid had this to a degree. Even had something similar in Destiny with one of the raids. Well, actually, a couple of the raids, to be fair.
That had been
It
his
does
mistake
give a bit of
before.
variety.
Trusting his old friend Lapino,
Which I think is
who'd been
kind of
through
needed.
So many battles with him and shed so many heartaches, who he'd rescued so many times. What was up with that guy anyway?
So, do we ever find out who the narrator is? I'm assuming this is Ronaldo narrating.
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think the narrator really is a character in the game. It's like a story overseer for our benefit. Anyone else? No, that's it. Okay.
We might get to level 49 by the end of this.
Can't remember if it's through this way. I think it might be. Green door, yeah.
Green door?
Green door to continue, otherwise I can go left and right for more fights. Ow, 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 ow.
Yes, as you can see, they fuck you up.
Big time.
He was at full health. He's now at half health. And this move does not activate the life leech.
No, it doesn't, because our machines, they don't have life.
Ah! Lore!
Oh, common sense.
Well, there's bizarre creatures in this world. So we have another puzzle. I've witnessed TK do this puzzle several times now. And I swear blind that there's got to be an easier, quicker way.
They seem to move differently every time.
Ah.
Yes, I have more levels to use. What can I purchase? Nothing.
Yeah.
Let me go shopping, damn it.
And this is the armature. So the thing that following us.
Sky Ripper's
Yeah,
armature.
There it is.
The stuff that dreams are made of.
Yeah, I've got my own pet
Anyway,
Sky Ripper that follows me around.
It was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist.
Yes, but later.
First, he'd get the second piece. Sky Ripper had a heart, a core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Yes, she would. So we're going to go and get the core again.
Yay.
It was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature.
No loss.
And the
Nice.
armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good, no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia.
Your life again?
Well,
Probably.
he would see her sooner or later across a battlefield.
I'd say it's more
or a
guaranteed than
sword's
probably.
point
Yeah.
Before all this was over.
Well, we'll give
He was
the
sure
game
of
the
that.
opportunity
The power
to
was in
surprise
the
us
core. Obviously, he had to get the core.
as we head off for the nuclear fucking power core of what we've seen as bomb so far.
Yeah, well, it'll be contained within the armature, so it'll be safer.
Safer.
Yeah,
Not
just as long as
safe.
you don't fire the
Old
weapon, it'll be
trees
fine.
around.
Safer.
They were so big and so old. They'd been there before he was born, and they'd be there after he'd passed into legend. Was he confronting his own unimportance? What had got into him? He was no philosopher. Anyway, who cares? He was plenty important. He was a hero, and soon he'd prove it.
Very odd lines from this narrator as you go through.
Nyawn. We go down the path to the Valley of Death.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
Crystalline enough for you?
And then a fight.
Another perfect
There were
bonus.
fewer
We
and
may
fewer
indeed
trees.
get to level
There were only these
49 by
huge
the end of this.
crystalline growths.
Nice. How many
Had
points
those
are we
been
off?
here before? You no longer heard
Oh, yeah,
birds
we actually
except
should
for the
do.
feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked.
Nice. Only 4,000 XP to
You
go.
couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry
So,
too.
in a world
This was
of
an unhealthy place to be.
anthropomorphic animals, predators do indeed hunt the smaller ones.
Yep.
Like, oh yes, Ronaldo, he was a great hero. He ate my husband. I mean, granted, we're not going in depth like Animals in Farthing Wood did with this particular topic. But hey ho.
The 20-sided core. made
Yeah, it's a
into
fucking
fist
D20.
piece.
God damn it.
Once he'd sneaked into a temple of the dark arts, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature.
And with the
wheels
big
began to
words.
spin,
Yep.
then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. Maybe Lapino wasn't such a good friend.
Well, he was an asshole,
That
so it's
made him feel
fine.
better.
Yeah.
He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now, he had to
I
make
do
the
like the
next
fact you
move.
get the little extra
There
bonus
was a
bits
key
if you
Imperial
know certain
outpost on the
truths.
Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon,
Oh look, we're going back to the
he could
Nexus.
use
What
it
a
to
shock.
wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Which does seem reasonable.
It does, which is why I did it previously.
Yeah.
Now we're going to the outpost.
Renato had never been much of a student. At Swordfu school, he'd never read the books, just looked at the pictures. I'm Zenobia. But weapons he understood. His gut told him that the Sky Ripper would work great. He would use it to take out the Imperial outpost. And what's the worst that could happen? The thing wouldn't work, and then he'd take it to the scientists, right? Renato actually could think of a few things that were worse. But he would make sure they didn't happen this time. Right?
Nice.
Yes. Because we know that the core is we know the armature is unstable.
So I think the reveals of the truths are those ones with the icons then.
Now the reveals of the truth are when you've
As he set out down the
gone
path,
through and got a ending
Renato
in
wondered
each
why the
truth.
parts
Oh,
of the
okay.
Sky Ripper had
So the
only
first time you
surfaced
get an ending,
now,
you unlock that truth.
thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had discarded it.
Well, for some of the
This
little
emperor,
quote things, there's an
Iceland
icon,
III, had
green
performed
rabbit-eared
terrible,
one.
Yeah, that's
bloodthirsty
when
stone
that's when you've
invoked
learned
the
the
lost
truth,
gods.
and therefore it gives you a little bit of extra
Perhaps that
yeah,
was bringing
yeah.
up lost
extra story
artifacts.
based on that truth.
How perfect then that the Sky Ripper would reappear to be his destruction.
I will take your shield away.
Hopefully this time.
And then get twatted in the back of the head.
Destruction.
Because I accidentally leant on X as I was pressing square.
Oh.
So he went to dash as opposed to slash.
Test the Sky Ripper on the Imperial Outpost. Because war crimes are fun!
Hey, we used a dirty bomb a couple of endings ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad this guy read this book. It's like, what would work well? Oh, shit, I'm an asshole! I commit war crimes in the name of good!
Oh, hello.
Just in case anyone is watching, committing war crimes in the name of good still is bad.
It's still a war crime.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Mr. Blair?
Rule 6.
Okay.
Don't often get to use that one.
Like, touche, Mr. Xavier.
He was
Oh.
tired of slaughtering ravens. Maybe it was time to test
I'm tired of mass slaughter. Let's
He
do
turned
some
a knob
mass
on the
slaughter.
Sky Ripper. It made strange mechanical noises. The wheels spun faster. It began to hum.
The Sky Ripper was following his every step. At least it acknowledged him as the master. But there was no trigger.
Oh.
How was he supposed to fire it? Fire, he said. Nothing happened. Well, maybe it just needed to warm up. After all, it hadn't been fired in thousands of years.
So kind of the story route where you pick up the floating ball of death that's been following you. that just melts people. Hey, 49. I don't think we'll get to level 50,
Noise now.
but
No,
we'll
we're not.
see.
And its wheels were spinning so fast he could no longer see them. Renato had a thought.
Please?
Yeah.
He asked.
The Sky Ripper began to glow. Boom! The outpost burst into flame. Ravens flapped out screaming, wings on fire. The base was his. The far speaker toad came hopping out.
Renato!
It croaked, sounding like a toad version of Zenobia.
Don't use the Sky Ripper. It will destroy the world.
Yeah, sure it will, cracked Renato. Pull the other one.
If you don't trust me, go see Calavera. He'll tell you the same thing.
Oh, she would say that.
Okay, so this
That sounded
Farseer
sensible.
Toad thing is
Why
a
did she always have to sound sensible all
communication
the time?
method, I'm guessing?
is it
for-
Yeah, the
Right,
fast speaker
interest?
toad, yeah.
Of course
Yeah.
she would say that.
He was supposed to hurry and bring the Skyripper to the council so the rebels could actually win the war. But what if she was right? Damn it.
So we know which route we're going for.
Yep,
The
we're
last
seeing
path.
Calaveras.
Yep.
Zenobia was so frustrating. If she couldn't get you with magic, she'd get you with reason and caution and sensible arguments. Of course, Calaveras, he might not know the latest scientific theories with evidence and all, but Renato preferred the knowledge in the old books anyway. What they said felt true, and that's what's important. You should be careful.
Interesting philosophy there,
She'd
guys.
probably guess he'd come
Interesting.
here,
That's how you end up with
and then
anti-vaxxers.
she'd probably set an ambush for him.
I'm going to ignore facts and science. It just feels true.
It's like, in my opinion, this is correct. Your opinion is not fact.
Yes.
Renato landed on
It's
the
an
island,
important thing.
expecting Zenobia's ambush at any moment.
On the other hand, there did seem to be a lot of ravens around here.
Like,
Were they just
opinion.
lost patrols
I
stirring
think
up
it could
trouble?
be,
Were they
might
looking
be,
for him?
should be.
If she was going
I
to ambush
feel
him,
like it
wouldn't she
is.
keep the road clear so he wouldn't be on his guard.
Or using the honest to goodness sentence, in my opinion, you know.
Reasons he was
In my humble opinion.
Yeah.
took his mind off the
Whereas
ones he
fact is usually proven theory of some description that is like, this is this thing as proven. So at this point, words in the English language are opinions. Currently.
Are you creeping towards Rule 6 yourself now?
No.
Sounds like you might be.
Well, thankfully, currently table is still table.
For now.
For now. But figuratively is literally, and literally is figuratively. If you're going to fuck up the English language, do it with the smaller words. It's easier for me, my tiny brain.
Oh, you're waiting to see what we do with the.
It's when they say A can't be used for whatever stupid
Zenobia's
reason that it's like,
ambush
no.
never materialized.
Well, you can't get much of a smaller word than that.
Sincere.
Yeah.
Calaveras was
The
a great
definite
scholar.
article.
Renato doubted even Zenobia could convince him to say something he didn't believe. And if he was working for the Empire, he'd never have told Renato about the Skyripper in the first place. Well, he would listen to the wise old toad. But that didn't mean he had to agree.
Which is actually a very good way of approaching most things. You
Yeah.
listen.
Listen to opinion and form your own judgment. I'm just going to skip the fight.
Yeah.
I don't need help. Doobie-doobie-doo.
You will, however, have a fight.
Yeah, I just trigger the fight, so.
I do like how that thing just bimbles around and then goes, fuck you in particular.
It's like beam of death. I choose you.
You gotta wonder, we're like, all these ravens are in there going, what the fuck is that thing? Ah!
It's called the Skyripper. It's bad news. Trademark.
Look, Mum, what I brought home.
I brought home death. It flies itself. It's very useful.
Why? Why did he listen to Zenobia? She was the enemy. Of course she didn't want him to use his shiny new weapon. The thing was, though, she was appallingly honest. I mean, she wouldn't lie even to an enemy. At least she'd never lie
And
to
switch for the
So
barrier
she
in
said
front
he
of
had
the
to see
fireball
Calavera.
shooters.
him. It probably was a good
So that will
idea.
then take out those ice things that were in the way,
It was infuriating.
and then we can put the shield back up.
Nice little puzzle. Even if it is a little bit weird that they've got a
yeah,
barrier.
puzzle.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the game's going every now and again. Like, hang in there, game. We're getting towards the end.
Calaveras.
Calaveras examined the Skyripper eagerly. What? How often does a new relic surface? He brushed off Zenobia's warning. Oh, what do sorceresses know about physics? However, he did know a few ways to make the weapon even more precise and more powerful, and quickly went off to tinker. Soon the Skyripper no longer whined, but thrummed like a hummingbird taking off.
So we're gonna make
Ready
this
for war.
dangerous weapon
So,
even more
Bernardo
fucking
thanked
dangerous.
Talavera
Yep.
and took the
This
legendary
could
weapon to the
not
final
possibly
battle.
go wrong in any way,
Where
shape, or
were the
form.
other
Nope.
rebel ships? Had something happened? He could defeat the Imperial fleet with a Sky Ripper, but he couldn't govern. He was not cut out to be emperor, and he'd no desire to be one.
The other rebel ships have done the smart thing and buggered off.
They're expecting some idiot with a big fucking weapon to show up.
Here I am! Idiot with a big fucking weapon, at your call!
There were a few rebel ships here and there, but there was no organization to the battle. Where was the Council flagship? Something had gone terribly wrong. But he had the Sky Ripper, and the Ravens had nowhere they could hide.
Take the shortcut again, I think.
Use the Sky Ripper on the Emperor. What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go
I had
right?
a feeling that was the back door to something. But what?
Taxi service.
Over that. First time, straight on there.
I wonder if they would ever consider doing another, like a sequel.
The council speaker was on the deck, pleading.
Ooh.
Why was she even here? They found our base, she croaked. The council, all dead. We must surrender.
Oh, fuck that.
We can still win this.
I've
said
got a
Bernardo.
super weapon.
I have the Sky Ripper. He would be a real hero and save the day, even when all appeared to be lost. You're a good boy.
Oh god, there's some horrible
And then
final
she
words
died.
to say to someone. Yeah, you missed your taxi.
Ah, there'll be another one. They're like
Yep.
buses.
Except with more ravens.
Speak of the devils.
There we go. Some wanton destruction. Yeah, we're not going to get to 50. Or at least certainly not on this particular run.
Ow. I didn't quite aim at it and I'm sticking just the right place to cause the parry.
Be over.
So, where is our final fight? Is it on the after the gangway or is it up high?
Oh, we are on.
It is up high. You can tell because there's the other parrot
Yeah,
thing.
the platform, yeah. No fight automatically kicking off. The bridge didn't come across.
No, that ship down there is where the final fight usually happens. Because you can see the big head for the platform that opens up.
Yep. So we clear the deck of this ship so we can then use it as a firing platform for...
Blowing up the universe.
Yay! Or some equally worse things. We've already blown up the universe. Yeah, fuck those boxes in particular. So there's the Emperor.
He fired the Sky Ripper. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. And for good measure, he played the beam around it, setting all the other nearby Imperial ships on fire too. And he watched them burn.
See? He could use the Sky Ripper safely.
The few remaining rebels gave a cheer, and then they stopped cheering. There was a hole in the air. A
What?
blanket, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was blowing into it, widening it. It grew larger. Crates were falling off ship decks, upwards into the hole. And the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror as it poured into the ravenous hole. He guessed that Somewhere behind that ever-widening hull were gods that had long been exiled. But it didn't really matter. Time was done for here, and soon it was.
Yeah, that's the trouble with the Sky Ripper. It has a tendency to tear a hole in the universe.
Yeah.
What kind of hero are you?
Superhero.
Oh, there's the Bookworm trophy.
And then...
So hopefully... Hey!
Grey Fox
is my pup. Platinum trophy.
Hey.
We have done it.
Yeah, not too bad. And that was indeed...
An hour and a half, like I predicted.
Hour and a half.
Look at this.
Yeah, so do you want to do the true run?
I don't mind doing the true one.
Let's see what the ending is.
Just before I do, I
Save.
Will... No, I don't need to. It saves automatically. Oh, it's already got the Show Truth Finder icon on. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, we've been seeing the damn thing.
No,
It was the big key.
No, that's not the... Well, I don't know how long it sticks around for. But okay, yeah, we'll do the final run. So we can get the end credits. It's nice to see that book all filled out. It's like a sticker collection with your Panini's football stickers or movie stickers or whatever you happen to have at the time.
Panini sticker collections. I did a couple of them because I was part of a thing,
over the Isles of Boreas.
lung test thing that the
time to
NHS did.
choose.
All right.
And so it was the
rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for
one of the
secret rebel
Olympics.
base.
Okay.
They needed
At
a game
one point.
changer.
They did a Panini sticker up in the
Sky
Olympics.
Ripper had
Yeah,
surfaced.
yeah, athletes and that.
That's cool.
Bernardo knew that using it
I had
would
the
go
Who Framed Roger Rabbit one.
catastrophically wrong,
Yes.
but he was sure he could figure
Trying
out
to
how use
complete
it
those
safely.
things is a pain in the arse.
Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster.
Diddle-diddle.
Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness.
Yeah,
And
we all
also-
know how bad that goes.
His old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of
Old
course,
friend.
Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion.
You'd be right.
And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
So we're following the key.
Yep.
So we're going bunny.
Renato finally realized that Lupino was a traitor to the cause. And maybe Renato could use that somehow.
Yep.
So, what do we do with a problem like Lupino?
Well, we threaten him with a big
Quite put
fucking
his paw
sword.
on when he'd realized Lupino was working for the Empire. He'd never exactly seen Lupino sending coded messages to the palace, but he was sure. The rabbit had been on too many disastrous missions where he was the only survivor, or where he accidentally missed getting on the boat that went down to the abyss in flames. If Renato could prevent Lupino from getting back to the fleet with all the intelligence he'd probably gathered, it might be worth the trip.
Ew.
Yes. And now we load. And so we've got to rescue Lupino again. At the start of the stream, this was.
How had they come
Yeah.
to this?
Nice-
They'd been
nice-
on
nice
so many
Silic.
adventures together.
Should
Lupino
old
had talked
acquaintance
Renato out of
be
prison at least
forgot?
4
Yep.
times.
Nice.
And Renato had rescued Lupino from at least 2 lynch mobs.
Meanwhile, I'm just having to refresh the laptop stream.
Huh?
Just having to refresh the laptop stream.
Okay.
But he'd always felt that the rabbit resented him. Lupino was hilarious because he was so down on himself and everyone else. But behind the laughs, he wasn't a happy camper. Ooh, was this payback? Or did the Empire have his little white tail in a vice?
I'm guessing a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I'm guessing he's just a filthy traitor.
Well, there's usually for a decent storyline with like traitor background, there usually has to be a pretty good reason, because it's. I've read stories where it's like, oh yeah, I betrayed you because and it's like that's not good.
Ravens were landing everywhere from dropships.
You know, it's like, yeah, if you've betrayed me because you're being blackmailed, I understand that, or they've got someone that's they're threatening you with someone. That's another one.
Medal. He'd have to be very careful about how he played Lupino. At the slightest hint of danger, the mad rabbit would take off like a rabbit.
And then there's the emotional reasons. It's like you resent them for being who they are. You resent them for having the girl you wanted. It's those little things that make the betrayal stories quite cool. Although also having it so that they're not fucking flagged from the introduction of character also makes it quite cool. But a lot of stories tend to flag the bad guy and fucking traitors so early. It's terrible.
There are a few things about him that Renato.
Now, in this case, Lupino is quite envious of Renato because Renato gets all the glory.
An urgent message saying that you're in danger.
You go out there killing hundreds of people, risking your life every day for the rebellion, and I'm jealous of you, but I'm not going to go out and fight.
On the rabbit and shout, "You're a traitor, and I'm not falling for it." But if there was one thing Renato was sure of, it was that the core of the Sky River was dangerous mostly to its user. If he could put it in the Emperor's hands, old Isengrim III might blow himself and his fleet up with it. Yes, that was it.
So, does TK remember the route? There's
Yes,
no key.
because if you choose this, it's death. It kills you straight away.
Wow.
Lupino goes, yes, you're right, stab.
Wow.
So guess what we're doing again?
Okay.
Renato felt
That
like
must have been a
real
shit
hero.
run through when you picked
Brave
that route.
and smart. He told the
I will
rabbit
confront
all
him.
of the Sky
Oh,
River's
fuck.
gods
Oh no,
had
because
a
you only
core.
have to restart that particular level again.
Go get the
Oh,
core
okay.
while you
There are a
attack
few
Zenobia.
choices that result in
He told
instant
the
death.
rabbit.
And
I've an even better idea.
you just have to
I'll get
restart
the
that
core,
level so you
and
can make the other
attack
choice.
Zenobia.
Death isn't so bad in this game.
Right, yeah, that is better. Agreed, Renato. Perfect. The traitor would make sure the Emperor got the core. Now Renato just needed the Emperor to use the core. If he could only get something that the Emperor wanted very badly.
What could that
Zenobia.
be?
He could save her and bait the Emperor at the same time.
There we go. So we're not getting the core after all.
No.
We've tricked Lupino into getting it.
But the betrayer friend is going to go off and pick up the poisonous fucking core.
Troops, sneak onto her ship and into her bedroom and kidnap her without any of her dozens of guards alerting her. Then he would rely on her love for him to convince her how evil her father was, so she'd run away with him instead of going back to her father, who was going to blow himself up. It
Bit risky.
sounded a
Little bit risky.
But Renato had a feeling it would work out somehow. It always did.
I mean, in terms of fucking batshit crazy plans, this is on the massive, great big fruit bat scale.
Here comes a fight.
If you're like, your entire plan is reliant on this woman, one, loving you, two, not wanting to kill you for sneaking into her bedroom, by the way, to kidnap her, by the way.
Well, we know that she loves him. That was one of the truths we've learned.
Yes.
So there is some logic in his plan.
There is some logic, yes. Disturbing large amount of faith that it'll work.
And this time we have to go down here because the other way is blocked.
Ah, so more wells, or in this case, sewer system.
Yeah, this is a sewer.
Always a goddamn sewer. Well, that guy can suck a fuck.
Luckily, so can most of this sewer. Convenient teleporter.
Nice.
And there we go. Shortcuts are handy, kids.
I'm going to assume you have to unlock those as
Renato
well.
was halfway
Hey,
to
just discover
Zenobia's
that one.
encampment when Lupino showed up. He was disheveled and distraught. They jumped us. I barely got away. Oh, they got the core. Oh, it was all going according to plan, thought Renato. Now he just needed Zenobia on his side. Yes, that was even better. The Iblis Stone. Zenobia could get it. And then the Emperor would have to pursue them. Wait, no. The gem would corrupt anyone, even her. That's it, he thought. Even Lupino. even though Lupino was already a traitor. It would turn him against his secret master, the Emperor. He would try to make himself Emperor. And the Emperor would have to defend himself with the core. Boom. He was a super genius.
You're a bit of an asshole. So I'm guessing we're sending Lupino to the Iblis Stone.
Yep.
Yep.
This is terrible, Renato told the rabbit. If only I had gone for the Iblis Stone. But now it's lost in enemy territory. He
Oh
handed
no,
Lupino a
whatever will
map.
we do?
It
Guy
gives
is
the
certainly
bearer
not an actor.
So much power. We can only hope the Emperor never finds it. What was that? Said Lupino. I think someone's following us. I didn't hear anything. Rabbit ears. You go on ahead. I'll check it out. And with that, Lupino hopped off with the map.
That's the ginormous death machine.
Right, so down there is just another fight, which we don't need. So we will go to this fight instead.
Avoiding the explosions. Whilst Death Ball does its thing.
It's a very efficient death ball.
Yeah. It really does like going, well, fuck you in particular.
And oh look, we found Zenobia. That was hard.
Renato slinked through Zenobia's ship.
Why
making
is
no
her ship
sound at
parked
all.
in the sewer?
She was curled up on her bed. He'd forgotten how beautiful she was. How sleek. How soft.
Artistic
He
impression
tapped
of
her on the
curled up
shoulder
in
with
bed,
his sword.
fully dressed,
She was made of
laying
smoke,
flat.
and he noticed he had a very
With you
solid
creepily
blade
stalking.
to his throat. Did you really think you could capture me? Purred a familiar voice. I just wanted to chat, said Renato. Did you ever wonder why the Emperor adopted you? He needs a sacrifice, someone who truly loves him, to make a bargain with the lost gods. That's a vicious lie. He wants
It's
to
not.
bring them back. That's crazy. Why would anyone... They could make him immortal. An eater of souls. And with that, her eyes widened. She understood. Renato told her how he had rescued a priest whose order had been massacred. How he had slept in a burnt village. At midnight, the Emperor's victims had come to him in his dreams. To tell him of the
Wow.
hideous eldritch rituals they'd been sacrificed in. He could still see those kittens and puppies. Their wide, sad eyes, their moist noses. You can't prove that. I've got a witness at the observatory.
Ooh, we going to the observatory?
Yeah, we're going to the mountains now to go to the observatory.
Ooh.
It's not the Nexus! Hurrah! Oh no, wait, it's the Nexus, sorry.
He couldn't tell her, not yet, why he was really
On
here.
Zenobia about
He didn't
daddy.
want her to be anywhere near the fleet when her father blew himself and Lupino up. So he told her about how the Emperor's obscene rituals had raised ancient artifacts out of the land. How he'd followed the appalling trail of the hideous horrors His Majesty had perpetrated for the sake of his own immortality. Any of this ring a bell? He said. He told me it was all lies. You've always known when I was lying. I always hated that about you, said Renato. The rebellion had started after atrocities that the Empire hushed up. Renato had rescued a priest whose order had been massacred for one book. He had slept in a burnt village. Dead kittens and puppies had come to tell him what the Emperor had done to them.
That must have fucked him up just a bit.
Yeah, it would do, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Put it down on your day, at least.
Like, I see you're trying to sleep, but we're now just going to come to you one-to-one and explain
How we've been sacrificed.
how we've been brutally sacrificed. So, you know, peaceful, restful, nice sleep.
Not yours.
You'll also notice the combo meter going off in the corner. That, I believe, is for the experience.
Don't you think
Partly.
I'd know if my
Also
father
for a
started
trophy.
practicing black magic?
Or two.
Why? Would you join in?
You can get a 60+ combo.
No,
Damn.
I destroy his
Yeah.
books and I...
It's currently impossible for me to get that at the moment because I have unlocked a skill which, after you get a 20-hit combo,
completely
you
wrong.
cleave everything else with a single
resurrected
blow.
one of his victims.
Ah.
So you need to get that trophy early.
Exactly
Or just not
alive.
buy that skill until
Yeah.
you've got the trophy.
Yeah.
A true witness, she said.
So yes, there is a true witness at the observatory, a resurrected
You.
victim who can talk and tell of the horrors that they've been through.
This world is fucked up, really, isn't it?
Yes, but that's kind of the appeal.
So here we are, heading up the stairs again.
Going up, sir.
I can't say that the
floor,
reuse
sir.
of the levels, the way they've done it, is bad, really, at all. I think they've managed to really utilize the repeated nature in an interesting way, and actually make it more. It certainly looks to be more fun.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a chore to go through the same stages
Yeah.
because they mix up the layouts as you go through each time. There you go, didn't take a single hit.
Finally. I mean, I do like it when developers do take on and use the, I'll say reverse Rainbow Road as a reference. Well, I say reverse Rainbow Road because with Mario Kart it was, we'll reverse the courses and then people will enjoy them, and shockingly people really did enjoy reverse Mario Kart levels. And granted, this is a thing that's been in a lot of driving courses or driving games.
But it's a cheap way of getting an extra track.
Yeah, but most noticeably, I would say with Initial D games, because you run the course uphill,
And then you run it downhill.
entirely different downhill, because of the way the game works with the physics and things like that. Hey, it's the chaos symbol again.
Sometimes you get to go here and it's not a burning wreck.
Dead
Sometimes.
scientists and black feathers everywhere. The Ravens had taken special care to burn the reanimated witness to cinders. Zenobia stared at the carnage. He didn't want me to hear the witness, did he? I guess not.
No.
What's your plan? She asked. So, Renato explained his brilliant gambit. Sending
I'm gonna go
to get the Iblis
murder
stone,
my
become
friend who
super
betrayed
powerful
me.
and corrupted, provoke the Emperor into using the core against him, thus blowing up both of them, and hopefully the fleet too. Let me visit your council, she said, shaken. I
I'm
want to
guessing we're
help.
going there next.
Could he really trust her?
Yes, we are going to the council next.
He'd done it. He'd made Zenobia see how evil her father really was. He wished she didn't feel this.
I do feel
urge
that they
to join
should
in the rebellion.
expand this a little
After
bit
all,
more,
he'd
especially with
taken care of
the
Emperor,
lost
right?
gods
Yeah, but she'd always been conscientious
and
like that. She told him she had to go somewhere
eating of
first.
souls
So
and
Renato
things
gave
like
her the
that.
location of the secret base, and they agreed to meet in the
Trouble is, you've got to
ruins.
stop explaining
Very
things
good
somewhere.
feeling about this.
Otherwise, no, you just bog it way too much down in exposition. I think where they've got it at the moment is a good balance between leaving enough questions unanswered and answering what you actually need to know in order
What
to
had
beat the
Zenobia
game.
gone off to do? What
Oh
was
yeah, I
more
mean
important
for
than
this
meeting the
game, this is
rebel council?
perfect.
Had
But
he
I
made a
wouldn't say
mistake
no to
sending
seeing
her to the
Some extended
ruins?
universe.
Yeah.
No. He knew they
How
could
far are we
trust
away
each
from
other.
the next level?
He could trust her because she never
Okay,
broke
so
her word. And she could trust him
maybe.
because
the
she could see
following
right through
title
him.
is called
Well,
Omen
she'd probably
Sight.
be
That was
there
it.
well before him.
Action
She at least
role-playing
didn't have to
game.
fight
Is
her
there a
way
fight
through
down here? I can't
rainstorms
remember.
of ravens.
Described by the developer as an action murder mystery.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. Yeah, it's set in the same universe, but doesn't star any of the cast. Oh, what am I too late? Anyone left?
Is that the only games they've done?
They've done a couple of others, but that's only two in this particular universe. Hello, we're back here again.
Yeah, there's a definitive edition for Omen's Sight. Wow, they've not done a huge number at all. But not bad. I'm not bad for an indie studio, I've got to say. Not bad.
Right, if we're looking to try and get the extra level, let's just quickly navigate over here for a quick little bonus mission. Oh, no, that's right sword.
Use the right sword, yeah.
Always helps.
But TK is looking to hit level 50 by the end of the stream.
For no apparent reason whatsoever. Just because.
Well, I think that was the original thought, wasn't it, when we were discussing this?
No.
When we were discussing this, TK did think it was to get to
Oh, that
level
was too
50.
easy.
Oh, wow.
That was not worth the time.
So maybe not get level 50 by the end of this stream.
Yeah, we'll take this little detour instead. I think there's a flood over here as well. Because we want to go down that path that we're just flying over now.
Ah, I see. Gold door?
Okay, maybe not. Fine, we'll pick up the fight here then. Oh, there's Lupino.
As he came around the bend, there was Lupino, unconscious on the side of the path. And Renata could smell a familiar, sweet, smoky scent. Who? Zenobia. It had to be. She never used a combat spell when she could use drowsy gas. That meant she had the Iblis Stone. What would it do to her? She hated her father now. She'd kill him for sure. The council wouldn't mind if she killed the Emperor, but murdering her father would destroy her. He had to get to whatever ledge she was on and talk her down from it.
Risking it! Thankfully, there's no penalty if you do get hit, aside from some health drain, but... Oh.
It's like, oh yes, health drain. Oh no! I'm getting my health back. Oh, what a shame. What a pity, what a pity. Oh no, oh no. There we go.
The long
So upset.
stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Always a good sign when nothing is on fire.
Let's fix that.
Yeah. It's like in Minecraft. You can tell when I'm not playing Minecraft because nothing is on fire. Jesus.
What?
Tiny little bit of experience off of what I thought was a pretty damn good fight, to be fair.
There's 1,000 points. That's a fairly typical amount of experience.
And here we are again, back at the secret base, under the statue thing with stairs.
That we never get to go down.
Everyone in the council chamber was dead. Zenobia stood shivering in the courtyard, drenched in blood. Why? He managed. They started arguing with me. I lost my temper and I wanted their blood. Well, not me. The stone did. Why did you take it from Lupino? I had a plan. You had a stupid plan. She said. I'm going to go kill my father now. No, you can't. You'll just take his place. You'll become worse than him. Get out of my way, or I'll kill you too.
What
So,
one?
Should we go out? Should we get out of our way, or should we stop her?
I'm guessing we stop her.
You guessed correctly. Because otherwise it ends in
Won't
death.
kill me.
Again!
And I won't let you kill the Emperor. Enraged, she raised the sword. You hate him too? He could sense the Iblis Stone, yearning for his death. But she didn't strike. If you kill him, he'll destroy you. I know you. Shut up! She shouted, her sword trembling. I won't lose you again. Not for anything. Get away from me, he said, and he was very close. I can't lose you again. And he was in reach of her sword now. I hate him! I hate you too! I love you, he said for the very first time. And then she was weeping. He was holding her. The sword had dropped from her hand. He glanced at the Iblastone. It was no longer the black of the void.
Ooh.
It looked like coal. No. It glowed like a cinder. It was crackling, burning, crumbling into ashes. You've always loved me, haven't you? She said. She was weak. The stone had taken so much from her. Always, he said. She staggered as he helped her up. Let me take you away. Where? The island of Avalon. The sisters will heal you. He will follow us. Then we need the Farfarer, the fastest ship in the Empire.
Let's go fetch.
Let's go get the ship, which is in the fleet. Where shit will get fucked up.
Yes.
Only this time, we run away.
The Empire
I hope.
had seized his ship. They'd have to take it back.
To Avalon.
So let's take the long route this time to make sure that we've got a better chance of obtaining our level.
He's determined now, folks. He's determined.
Well, you gave me a challenge. What kind of a hero would turn down a challenge?
Well, given the history of this game, a smart one.
Already 2 battles away.
Nice.
Virtually guaranteed it.
Yeah.
The portal was heavily guarded.
I will say this has been a very enjoyable one to watch. You play and complete. Not every game is good for the audience. If ever you've watched streamers do stuff, you'll often find that they do avoid certain games because they're not ideal for the audience to watch.
But he never fought so well.
I think very narratively heavy games are quite good to watch because everyone can get absorbed into the story.
Oh yeah, I mean just like us chatting about stuff and references and story hooks and things like that. It's quite enjoyable to pull that out as you're playing and watch, especially watching this one.
Aha! Flawless victory. Level up.
Level 50, and that is the max level.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Did it say max?
yeah, max.
Nice.
Okay, so 50 was the max, but you didn't need 50 in order to max out your skills, which is a little bit odd, I'll say, from a design choice, but
Maybe the level does affect your stats in some way that's not obvious.
not that it matters, because you got the ability that at 20 fucking combos, you just one-shot everyone.
Yeah. Which does nerf your combo somewhat.
Yeah, but it does make the fights easier, which I think is kind of the point.
The Farfarer.
Ah!
Will fare very far indeed. Beyond the Empire, beyond the reach of the Empire, to the mystical island of Avalon. He didn't know exactly where it was, but he knew he could find it. And they would find peace there. Second star on the right, and straight on to morning, laughed Zenobia. And they laughed together for the first time in a long time.
I do like that Peter Pan reference.
Right then. Take me, ship. Take me to where I need to go.
You, however, need to finish the level. Don't kill off. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, level 50 max.
That experience does nothing, because you are max.
I just like the way it fills that entire bar each time. It's like, that is so satisfying.
And then for the last time, past the fire cannons that are constantly firing and would set everything else on fire. But never mind.
So only one story this stream has actually gone across the gangplank over there. All the others, and this is the more rare of the options to go this way. Normally it's across the gangplank.
Yeah, because I've watched you redo certain levels constantly for the combat stuff and the experience get grind. But I have seen him hit a couple of endings, and usually it goes across the gangplank for most of the options that I've seen. Well, I can't say it's a bad thing that there isn't really any boss fights, or that the enemy variety is...
I took a hit.
It's not much of a worry. Or that the enemy... Just don't die. You're on 60 health. But I can't say that the lack of enemy variety is a bad thing. I mean, if they ever did a sequel to this, where, I don't know how this will end in terms of the canon, but if they ever did do a sequel where the Ravens came back...
Well, 4,000 for that fight.
Yeah, not bad. It would certainly be
But they did
interesting.
not go unnoticed. Scout ships lifted off, and a long lance of the Imperial flagship. Bernardo turned downwind to gain speed. The Raven ships could pursue, but they couldn't close. The far speaker croaked, "You return her and live! Go sacrifice yourself," yelled Bernardo. "Then you won't have her either." On the flagship, the Emperor was readying some arcane weapon. It couldn't be. It was the core. A devastating beam lanced out of the flagship. Bernardo zigzagged wildly to keep the Farfare out of it. Now the Raven scout ships were closing the distance, and the beam was getting closer too. Then came a blinding flash, and the air was searingly hot all around him. There was a thunderous, deafening roar. He could smell burnt oak and burnt feathers and burnt flesh. But when he could hear and see again, they were alive and unhurt, and they were alone in the sky. Zenobia embraced him. They had done it. Through luck and through love, they had won the war. "Avalon, here we come," he said as he held her arms wide in the prow of the boat and let her feel its speed. "Maybe the real Avalon is wherever we're together," she said. And so, after a bit of an argument, Bernardo and Zenobia went to one of the two Avalons. The one shrouded in mists, or the one in their hearts. But which one they went to, I'll never tell. He'd done it.
Oh.
He'd forged his own destiny. Well, he hadn't actually done it, but he knew what he would do. Bernardo smiled at the book. He practically wanted to kiss it.
Ooh.
The kid's sacrifice hadn't been in vain. He'd saved the book and saved the world. Bernardo owed him and his mother so much. Bernardo lowered the mainsail and let the Farfarer shoot forward in the breeze. Second star to the right, and straight on till morning. This time, he would win.
So weird.
And there you go.
Yeah. So weird. It's like you're playing the game of him reading the Choose Your Own Adventure so he could go and play the game.
Yeah,
But it works. I gotta say, it really works.
it does.
Yeah.
It's a really enjoyable game. Okay, a couple of the trophies are a bit of a grind, but it wasn't too much of a grind. And I mean, it certainly didn't annoy me at any point, the grind.
No. Which is a good thing, because I've played quite a few grindy games, and when you notice the grind and feel it getting quite harsh, it is a struggle to continue to play.
Yes, I mean, the last kind of few levels of experience gained to get the last kind of skills was a case of just going to the chapter 5 of one of the levels and just grinding it. So when you got to the ending, as soon as that save icon had come up, you'd pause the game and go and return to main menu once it had finished saving, and then you could then restart the game and it would start you back at level 5 again. And of course, level 5 being the big final battle, it has all the experience in it, so it didn't take too long to kind of grind your way through the levels to get all the experience you needed. But that was Stories, the Path of Destinies.
Yeah. So we have actually witnessed TK completing 100%
Yeah.
a game.
I think that's the first PlayStation 4 game I've actually 100%ed.
It is rare. I mean, we've had a few which kind of were easy 100% because the way they do it. We did also have that Jack and Jill one.
Yeah, the Platinum Trophy race.
We did the race for, which I suppose you could say was kind of easy, but it had its own thing after.
But then we haven't 100% of the game. We've only Platinum Trophied it.
Yeah,
We haven't actually beaten all of the levels in the game.
no. But whereas with this, it is you've done most of the work already, and we have now seen the last 3 levels, all of the skills unlocked, and then
And max level as well.
Yeah,
so
max
that
level.
is true kind of completion.
and as a bonus, we actually did the true
good ending. Yeah.
as well, which was quite nice. Yeah, I can see why people really like this little indie title, and did rave about it.
I mean, this is
certainly.
why I got a little bit of a shout out in my Kingsley's Adventure review for PlayStation Month last year. And I said that Kingsley's Adventure is the best kind of game where you play as an anthropomorphic fox on PlayStation until PlayStation 4 rolls around, and I
Yep.
showed some footage from this game because I'd only kind of recently just started it at the time of recording that video. And so
Yeah.
this was quite a handy, and we didn't have Spirit of the North at that point.
No. Again, very nice game, which I do actually have to.
Well, I've actually
Finish.
marked it on the board for a couple of Fridays' time.
Yes, there it is. Yes, so we'll actually finish that one. That's a really chill game. I like that one.
We might not finish it, but we'll certainly get a lot of the way through.
I will try. It will fucking kick my ass, I am sure. Because this is indeed games that kick my ass. The stream.
Although we will have to go back and replay some of the levels so we can find all of the things.
Oh god, you want me to 100% it? Fucking hell.
So it's not a difficult platinum. It's just tracking down where everyone is a bit tricky.
Yes.
But there are guides that can help with that, so
Cool.
it shouldn't be too difficult.
No.
But it'll be another nice platinum stream at least.
Yes. So it'll be my platinum stream. That'll be scary.
Well, you say that, but you've started the game on my profile.
Oh balls. Thanks, TK.
That's not my fault. You didn't switch profiles before starting.
So, this has been TigerTails Gaming, streaming games that kick my ass. This is a TK edition, and this has been...
This is a game where
platinum
I kicked its ass.
Yeah, TK's kicked its ass. So, we have done another successful stream. We will be back to, the weekend, possibly tomorrow, because...
Decisions, choices.
Well, it's real life stuff, because on the weekend I do the stream and chill. Currently, I'm going through Kingdom Hearts, the first one on PS3. So I will potentially be grinding my ass through the levels because I've got the fucking Hercules fights and Cerberus fight that is a pain in the ass to do because I'm doing this on proud mode because I'm a fucking glutton for punishment.
It's not that much difficult. Actually, it's Kingdom Hearts 1. It's quite...
Kingdom Hearts 1, a game which hides the fact that if you pick the wrong choices, you fuck over your own early levels.
Potentially.
Actually.
Oh no, because potentially you could pick the right choices.
You could, but if you know what the choices are, fucking difficult to know those choices on your first blind playthrough.
Yeah, it makes the early leveling harder, but it makes the later leveling easier.
Yeah.
So there is a trade-off.
There is a trade-off. If you manage to get...
With the harder leveling at the beginning, you gain game experience.
You don't. The early levels are fucking ridiculous to get through anyway.
And so by the time you are more skilled as a player.
You're not.
When you get to the later levels and can level up quicker and therefore become more badass and feel better about that struggle at the beginning.
But that's on the weekend. There will also be videos released over the weekend for TigerTails Gaming because I am continuing my run through Sonic Adventure 2. So there will be an update video for that one.
Yeah. Plus we've got Sonic here to look forward to, which we really need to record.
We need to do some more stuff.
We haven't done one for February.
I need to crack out the Sonic Heroes. Sonic Forces recording, and then once I've done that, I can put everything together for that one.
Sonic Heroes.
we may just pull something for a stream over a weekend just so that we can put something together. We'll see how it goes because this is. I was hoping to do
on average 12 videos for the year, so that's an average of one a month, not necessarily an actual one per month.
We won't give ourselves a hard target because we all know what happens.
We might get 11 videos in December, but we will have achieved the goal.
Yeah. And then on Monday, the 1st of March, TigerTails Radio will be back.
It will.
For season 13. Unlucky for some, but for us, it will be probably several significant milestones because we are one of the longest running furry radio stations. Probably one of the longest running furry things, to be fair.
The only thing I know off the top of my head that's been going longer has been the Fun Day Paw Pet Show. And even then, they don't have regular episodes so much anymore.
We will also be hitting, in Season 13, Episode 1000.
At some point.
At some point.
I think it's approximately around episode 39. Not sure.
And we're probably going to have a TigerTails birthday as well at some point during the year.
Yep, there will be a birthday during the year as well.
So that will be
for, what's it, 17
fun.
years?
17 years. Damn.
Shit, we're old, right?
Well, at least it's not back when it was like 8 or... No, it was Season 8 with the
I'll tell you what, next year will be the TigerTails brand's 20th birthday.
Damn. We'll probably still be in this house with lockdown going on. But
Probably.
So, yeah, we'll see. We also do have a new thing that we are currently releasing. We will talk about properly on the radio side, which is the podcast Ramblings of a Grey Muzzle, and the next episode will be released at the beginning of March. So that will be there to look forward to. But I think with that, we need to wrap everything up. So thank you very much for anyone who has been watching live.
Well, let's plug all our websites first.
Oh, god damn it.
So we have the main website of tigertails.co.uk, which I've updated now so you can actually talk about it. It's not much, it's just a hub that takes you to all the other websites, which include tigertailsradio.co.uk for the radio side of things. There is tigertailsgaming.co.uk, so you can see the shit that's about this channel. Plus then there's greymuzzlepodcast.co.uk for the podcast itself.
Yes.
Now you can say goodbyes.
Yes. So thank you again very much for anyone who has watched live. Thank you very much for any future people who stumble upon this. This has been Stories, the Path of Destinies, the last few paths and platinum trophy for TK. Hey. It is a good night from myself, Xavier Wolf.
And it's a good night from myself, TK. Thank you all very much for watching and listening to this episode of TigerTails Gaming. We shall be streaming again over the weekend, or Mr. Xavier will. I shall be manning the controls and then being upstairs and making sure that he doesn't clip the audio feed.
He'll be playing Armello.
Probably, yes. Actually, yeah, I actually might be, yes.
Let's be honest. He'll be playing Armello.
Yeah, I'll be on remote play playing.
I'm paying attention.
Honest.
Honest.
Yeah, you're in. I've got two screens up there. One screen's got Armello, the other screen
Everything
has
looks
your
fine
screen.
on the YouTube, really, does it?
Yeah, it looks fine. Honest.
So yeah, so thank you very much. We will see you again later. But on that note, it is night night, everybody.
Night.
Night.